Good afternoon, and welcome to the Your Town television program on AMP's Access Monterey Peninsula Cable Channel 24 and on the internet at ampmedia.org. Every weekday at 5 o'clock, we are proud to have as our guests various local civic and community leaders. The purpose of the program is to help inform listeners and viewers like you about some of the things going on in your town. And now, on with the program.
Hello and welcome to Your Town television program. I'm Paula Mcchesney of McChesney Design Studio and Passion by a Design. And we are a full-service interior design firm located in beautiful downtown Carmel, one of the few studios on the Monterey Peninsula that has a full sample library. So we invite you to come in and feel the fabrics and put your toes in the rugs and have a great time with us. I'm the host today and every fourth Thursday of the month, and I have a stellar lineup today. I am so excited to welcome my guests. We're going to be talking about some fantastic subjects, some energy, some healing, topics which will inspire and motivate you and give you great information for your life. My first guest is Renee Doering, and she is a master healer amongst her many gifts. She's an author, she's a speaker, she's a phenomenal woman. We're very blessed to have her here on the program. The second guest is Jeannie Gould. Jeannie is a kind and compassionate, wonderful woman who is the manager of the American Cancer Society Discovery Shop. And you'll see why I invited Jeannie shortly. And our final guest is our beloved Janet Thomas, so well known here on the peninsula. She's made such a difference in many of our lives. She is the founder of Break Free for Women. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the program. Welcome to the program, Julie Renee.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here. I really feel very honored. You are quite a celebrity. You're very well known. You're a published author. You are a speaker. You have a phenomenal history. So we're quite elevating the bar today on our program. Thank you, thank you.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm thrilled to be here.
It's delightful. So tell us a bit about your background. I was going to start, and I thought you will do a much better job than I, so please.
Well, I literally survived the atomic bomb testing in the Nevada desert, had 17 surgeries, multiple cancers, and died a couple times. I was in a wheelchair for a year, told I would never walk without canes, and spent 2.5 years of my life in a hospital bed. And through that life, I discovered the human blueprint and how to access the quantum realm to regenerate the body. Thus, you're seeing a very healthy, active woman, obviously. And that is my mission, to get that information out to everyone who's suffering, everyone who's slightly off, that you can be 100%. You can come back to your vibrant health.
Well, it seems to me, and I didn't know you before, but you are so vibrant that you've probably come well beyond what your health was before, I would expect. And I think we're so powerful in our lives, and our choices do create our realities, I believe. And you are an absolute example of that. What got you on that path? There must have been I'm guessing here, a bit of despair, or frustration or sadness dealing with those very challenging things. How did you make the choice to do what you've done?
That's a really good question, and something that I really haven't talked about with people, so thank you for asking in that way, which you asked about the despair. And there was a tremendous despair and a tremendous deep permeating depression. And there was a day when I woke up, and I had always known that I was here for a reason. So I died the first time at 24, and I saw my life pass before me, and I negotiated with God that I wanted to stay. And I pushed myself back in my body and came back. And then I had 17, 18, 19 years of suffering, of radiation treatment for 10 years, 17 surgeries. I was sick a tremendous amount of the time. I had multiple cancers. And a lot of that time I was really in just severe pain and suffering. And my strong faith was always keeping me going. I've always been deeply a woman of faith. And at some point, I had survived enough. And I had told my oldest daughter, if anything else happens, just pull the plug, honey. I'm not going to fight to stay. Just pull the plug. I can't take the pain anymore. And she said, Mom, I don't want your money. I want you. And that got me thinking. And over a period of a week, I started thinking, oh, God promised me the Garden of Eden, and I'm living in hell on earth. And I went to my garden in prayer and meditation, just like I'd been to where Buddha was enlightened, and how he sat there and he said, I'm not leaving until I'm enlightened. I sat in the garden and said, God, take me or make me well. I'm not leaving until you do.
Oh, my.
And the first day, I began to watch through my mind's eye, my inner vision. I could see the cells in my body regenerating to their God state, going into a perfected state. And when they got to that God state, they became these pulsing blue orbs. I was watching this, and to me it was like looking at the face of God. I burst into tears. It was like remarkable and available for everybody. It wasn't just, it was my needing to go in there and figure it out, but this can be done by every single person on the planet.
Well, you've written a book, and your book is called, and if we can pan in on this, please. This is a beautiful picture of you on the front, 100% You formula. Let's see if we can get a shot of that, because I want everyone to be able to see that. And tell me about the book. I haven't had the privilege yet of reading it. Are you describing your journey and...
Yeah, I have a big book also called Your Divine Human Blueprint, and that's 30 chapters of all the step-by-step process. That actually is in layout and design right now, will be available in about 4 weeks.
Fantastic.
So if you want all the steps, every single step for everything, curing autism, curing depression, overcoming assault, you know, where you get back to your perfected state, regenerating the brain, changing the DNA, regenerating cells. I gave every single step in that book. So that's the book that you want if you want to get all of how everything works. This book is such a fabulous book because it's an introduction to the human blueprint, PEMER, perception, essence, matter, energy, and realms. And it gives you, there's 5 videos in there, it teaches you how to actually do what I call the quantum pump and bring the quantum realm into your space and start changing your body.
Well, you know, we live in such a fascinating time, and for me, I look at this and I think, wow, here we are in 2014, and we're now in an age where the blending, the melding, the coalescing, if you will, of the ancient healing traditions and energies and quantum physics and science are now meeting. And it's such an exciting time because in my belief system, it's no longer either or. It's not you believe in spirituality or you believe in science.
Yeah.
They are now, we're now learning. I think they always confirmed each other. But it's that beautiful blend of spirituality and science that is just so powerful. So building on these ancient traditions. So you talk about quantum. You use the word quantum. Tell us more.
I love that you noticed that, because what surprised me is, yes, I consider myself a spiritual teacher and, you know, a natural, like I call myself a health activator, but certainly an energy healer. But who I discovered wanted to learn from me were physicists, medical doctors, psychiatrists, and then biblical scholars. So I put on a big event at IONS, the Institute of Noetic Science, and the whole room was full of PhDs who wanted all of my information of how does everything work. And I actually, the Human Blueprint book that I've just described, Your Divine Human Blueprint, was edited by 2 physicists. So they added a few little pieces here and there of their words.
Fantastic.
So it's written for everybody to understand, but they were so excited. They were like, oh my God, this is all real. This all relates to science. So, and I'm going to say that Your Divine Human Blueprint and the quantum realm are actually the most ancient. because it's how we were originally designed. There are actually 41 unique designs of humans on the planet, and you can see the different designs from the different races and different appearances, but we all meld. Well, you could just get more beautiful as we meld together.
Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely. I like what you're saying here. It's very, very interesting. So you talk about some very practical things about how do you integrate these things in your life. I know one of the things that's very important to you, and it is to me, is water. And sometimes I think that when we hear things that sound so simple, oh, well, we all know we're supposed to drink water, blah, 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 we overlook that kind of divine simplicity. So talk about water a wee bit, if you would.
Yeah, you know, one of the things that I'm an expert at is regenerating the brain. And one of the reasons that the brain fails is that we don't keep it hydrated. The brain has no ability, no capacity to store water. We pee out, breathe out, sweat out 80 ounces of water on an average a day. And the average American, according to studies, takes in 32 ounces or less a day. Well, if you don't have any capacity to store water in your brain, if you're 1% dehydrated, you lose 5% cognitive function. So imagine being more than 50% dehydrated. So when people are wondering...
Wait, say that one again. That's important.
Yeah, if you're 1% dehydrated, you lose 5% cognitive function. If you're 2% dehydrated, you'll suffer from fuzzy memory, you'll have difficulty calculating, and what we see is that people who are dehydrated have attention deficit symptoms. Normal, healthy brains that aren't getting enough water. And water is responsible for the neurotransmitters for connecting, but also for our nerves and our hormonal body. So ladies, if you're not putting water in your body and you're having hormone problems, this is a good reason why. The hormones don't have a pathway to get through the body. You're dehydrating, you're drying yourself out.
Which is, as we age, not what we want to be doing, is it?
No.
We want to be juicier.
Yes. And what I've developed, which is so easy, and every single person can do this, is the SIP-16 method, or the SIP-16 system, which is just, you take your body weight, divide it in half. So if you're 130 pounds, which you probably are, you divide that in half, you get 65 ounces. That is what you need to drink during the day. Drink it in 4-ounce increments every half hour to 45 minutes. You'll have it 16 times during the day. You'll meet your quota for the day. You'll keep your brain fresh. You'll keep your body fresh. You'll keep your hormones happy. You'll keep your nervous system happy.
Well, we like a happy nervous system.
Yeah. Exactly.
In addition to everything else being happy. You know, that's so true. And I have always been a huge water drinker. And I'm fortunate because I actually like the taste of water. And it always amazes me when people say they don't like it and they don't ever drink water. And I think, well, it's so easy to do. And, you know, obviously adding flavorings, lemon or cucumber is I love the lemon and cucumber combination. It's it really is refreshing. Whatever it takes to get that water in your system.
And I have a tip for the listeners too, your viewers, is if you write beautiful words on your filter, like pleasure and love and beauty and bliss, and you leave the water in for at least 5 hours, it actually makes the water taste better.
Absolutely.
And I notice that I'll sometimes have my students come in and we'll be working away and they'll be drinking the water. It'll taste like roses because we're actually doing the healing activations as well as the words on the container.
Yes.
So then we're drinking rose water, really.
Yes. Lovely.
So if you want, you know, to not add anything, but you still want to affect the water, put words on it.
Very powerful, and that takes me back to the Japanese scientist whose name I've forgotten, who does the water studies, and he spoke to, and rice, and he spoke to the rice with negative words of hatred and really horrible, and then another bowl of rice with words of love and so forth. And this is absolutely true. The rice that was given the words of hatred and the negativity
Putrefied.
Yeah. And the rice that was exposed to the positive energy of the loving words and the positive words stayed fresh.
It probably even turned sweet.
Yeah, and I think what we do to ourselves, how we use our words so harshly on ourselves, and we're so hard on ourselves, you know, and we don't realize, except on programs like this, where we get to share this fantastic information, that it really, really, really makes a difference. And Louise Hay, whom I'm sure many of us know, such a great teacher and leader, you know, teaches us to say, I love you. I really, really love you when you look in the mirror. And you're saying the same thing with the water and the very loving energy.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, it's really like, what are you nourishing yourself with? So are you nourishing your cells with loving information? And if it works on water, think about yourself being more than 90% water.
Exactly.
You know, it's going to work on you too.
Absolutely. So how do people reach you? I want to make sure we get this in because I know you're going to have a lot of Facebook interest and on your website. So tell us your website, please, and how to reach you.
My website is julierenee.com, JulieRenee.com. And Facebook is the same, Julie Renee, and my last name is Doering, Doering. And I'd really like to invite people, if you're interested in connecting a little deeper into how close you are to 100% healthy. I've got 100% healthy access assessment, rather, on my website.
Fantastic.
So, and it gives you immediate results, and you're going to get some meditation programs as a gift for filling it out. But you'll actually get all of the results kind of on, you know, like as soon as you fill out the assessment.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, that sounds like a very generous gift that you're giving the viewing audience, so I thank you.
Oh, my pleasure.
Yeah, that's really terrific. Well, I really encourage everyone to access your information, and look how gorgeous she is. She is just amazing. I mean, if we could all look like that, what a treat. It's been such a pleasure. We have not even scratched the surface of what you have to offer our viewing audience. And so I would like to just on air invite you back.
You got it.
Later on in the year, we will so look forward to seeing you.
I'll be
Julie
back.
Renee, thank you
you
so much. It's been my deep pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.